Welcome to Thursday. I can't believe it's Thursday already, and this week has flown by. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay squad. If you're watching live, then hashtag live squad, and tell me something amazing that happened from your day today. So today I'm talking about 6 steps to reconnect to your feminine energy. How to get in touch with your feminine energy. Is that Angelica I see watching? What's up, girl? Welcome to the live. So the reason I'm doing this live is because I got a message today from another woman on Facebook, and she was so sweet, and she reached out and said, hey, I really like when you talk about like feminine energy stuff. And that's why I stopped talking to you, Angelica. Yes, I'll message you after this, boo. Okay. So she messaged me and said, I really like when you talk about this feminine energy stuff. Could you give me some tips for connecting to my feminine energy? She said, because I feel like I operate from my masculine energy a lot. And I said, yes, girl, I got you. And I sent her some tips. And then I thought more about it, and I really wanted to share with all of you what you can do to reconnect to your feminine self. By the way, I am not wearing pants. I'm wearing my pajamas. Hashtag it's Thursday. You're lucky I'm even wearing pajama bottoms, okay? Because I just want to be really comfy right now. Angelica, no worries. Love you. Catch you on the replay. Okay, so this video is for the ladies. So just so everyone's clear, both men and women can access feminine and masculine energies. Okay, so this isn't, men or women. This is about different energetics that we can access. That said, this video is for how women can get in touch with their feminine energy. So if you're a guy and you also want to get in touch with your feminine energy, that's super cool, and I support that because it's all about having a balance of those energies within us. But this video is specifically for the ladies. All right, so my number 1 tip is to do a really simple practice called Goddess Check-In, okay? And you may be saying, Heather, I am not a hippie. I didn't grow up in 1975 Oregon, okay? Like you did. I wasn't born in 1975, okay? I'm not that old, guys. So if you're just joining, oh, hi, Kelly. What's up, girl? If you're joining, hashtag live squad. I'm just getting started. You haven't missed any of the tips. We're just getting started. So tip number 1 is to do Goddess Check-In. So what Goddess Check-In looks like, it's super easy, y'all. All you have to do is ask yourself 2 questions. Now, the questions are, how am I feeling and what do I need right now? So when I was taught this practice, I was very burnt out. I was exhausted all the time. I felt like I was just going all the time. I felt fried mentally, emotionally. I felt super drained. Like I would just be like, go, like chugging caffeine, like couldn't stop all day. And then I would collapse by the end of the day and just be like a zombie and be so exhausted and feel like fried. Like, do you know that experience where like your nerves feel fried? That's how I felt. And so I was just like in need of something to help me connect back to my like self. So this little practice of simply asking myself what I am feeling and then asking myself what I need was so powerful. What's up, Ashley? Welcome to the live. When I first started doing this practice, I would do it for like 30 minutes. And I've gotten much faster at it now, able to identify my needs. So what's a need that you guys notice that sometimes you neglect within yourself? So a need that sometimes I neglect is sometimes I don't even go to the bathroom when I need to. It's ridiculous. I'll be like, I need to pee, but I don't want to stop doing what I'm doing. I'm like a little kid. I'm like so happy with what I'm doing. I just want to keep going. But that is actually ignoring our needs, which is not a great way to be in touch with your feminine energy. So like just today, I did my Goddess Check-In. I was feeling just kind of really tired, and I was like, what's up? And I was like, okay, what am I feeling right now? And I was like, okay, I'm feeling fatigued. I'm feeling a little like distracted. I'm feeling a little restless. And then I was like, okay, what do I need? And I was like, I need water. Like, I just needed to drink some freaking water, all right? But the trap that women get into is we often neglect our own needs for those of others. And this is because of the way we're conditioned in our society as little girls to prioritize the needs and feelings of everyone else around us. And I'm here to say, let's stop doing this, ladies, and let's stop teaching our children and our young girls to do this as well. What's up, Tasha? So that's step number 1. Do your goddess check-in. Ask yourself, what do I need? Or what am I feeling and what do I need? It takes 2 seconds. Speaking of, I need some more water. If you're just joining the live, I'm doing my live in pajamas tonight, okay? No shame. I want to be comfy. If you were hoping to see me in pants or a suit or a dress with, perfect styling, you have come to the wrong person's Facebook page. You guys know me. Okay, so number 2 is avoid alcohol and caffeine. If you are a caffeine addict, it's okay. Stand up right now and type in the comments, I am a caffeine addict. All right. So I've been there. I've been a caffeine addict. I have done a lot better. I've been off caffeine for the most part for 3.5 weeks, except for a little bit of coffee like on Sunday mornings when I go to Trader Joe's, and I did have a coffee the other morning, but I'm back to no caffeine. Caffeine and alcohol create stress in the body, which is a reason that you will feel exhausted and disconnected from your feminine self, because the female body does not thrive off of stress. We are not designed to be super stressed out and being chased by lions and tigers. We're designed to be in a safe spot so we can create young, all right? Biologically, even if we don't want to have children or that's not in our plan, you're still biologically created to need rest and protection. That's part of your feminine energy. And to ignore that and pretend it's not there is to dishonor your fundamental nature as a woman, which is going to lead to both emotional and physiological breakdown and issues. So I want you to really look at how much alcohol and caffeine are you consuming, and can you start scaling it back? Look, I'm not asking you to cut both cold turkey if they're things that you enjoy. And they're both addictions, and caffeine is especially addictive, and alcohol is obviously addictive as well because they're both psychoactive substances. So, but I encourage you to start scaling those back. I was actually talking to one of my clients today about scaling back her caffeine little by little to see if that would improve some of the hormonal symptoms that she was having. Okay, so that's number 2. What's up, Miss Sherry? If you're just joining, #Live Squad, let me know that you're watching. Don't be a creeper. That's one of the rules on our lives. #no creepers, okay? Am I right? All right, number 3 is nurture yourself and others. So how many moms do I have watching the live right now? I know Kelly is a mom to 2 boys. If you're a mom, just type mom really quick and put it in the comments so I know who is watching, who is a mom. And my praise, I praise you, my moms, I praise you because y'all take care of not just yourself, but so many other people. And the closest I can come to understanding it is running and owning a business is kind of like birthing something from nothing, right? So I imagine it's similar to having a kid. And I used to nanny a lot. So I'm fully aware of how exhausting children are. What's up, Miss Lindsay? Lindsay's one of my moms. What's up, Ashley? Welcome to the live. We're on step 3 if you're just joining. So you're in the middle of the live. You can come back and watch the replay. So I've got my moms here. Thank you for letting me know you're a mom. You know, it's in your nature to nurture others, right? Like as a mom, you're constantly nurturing others, trying to find the balance with nurturing yourself as well. But sometimes what we do as women is we disconnect from nurturing at all. And we get into a to-do mentality. Like, I just got to survive. I just got to get the kids' lunches made, get them out the door. I just got to get them dressed. I just got to do this. So many things I got to do. I can't kiss my husband. Can't give him a hug. Can't pet the dog. No. I got to fold the laundry. I got to do all these things. And that is being in a very masculine energy. A do harder, a do more. If you can relate to being in this energy, hello, I can, then, comment below if you can relate to this. And what this does, y'all, is it really disconnects us from our innate desire to nurture, but not nurture in a self-sacrificial way, but nurture in a restorative, healthy way. So Sherry says she's been there. Thanks for being honest, girl. Yeah, and I've been there too. And Lindsay says she's been there too, and she's had days like that. She's got a 2-year-old and another baby on the way. Y'all are my heroes, yo. So I want you to think about how can you carve out little micro amounts of time during your day where you can take a few moments to nurture somebody. Look, you guys, very little in life is an emergency. Very little is life or death. We can take 30 seconds to pet the dog. We can take a minute to, play a quick fun game with our kid in the morning to wake them up. We can snuggle with them for a minute to wake them up. We can cuddle our partner, our husband, our boyfriend, our dog, okay? Like nurturing your animals is also a way to reconnect to your feminine energy. We can take these micro moments to actually nurture the people in our lives in a restorative way, and we will actually feel filled back up because we're connected to our feminine self as opposed to feeling drained and exhausted. When you are just doing all the time for others without actually nurturing them, then that's when people start to feel resentment. When we actually take time to connect with affection and love, we will not feel resentful about doing those things for others. Okay, so that's number 3. Now, number 4, who likes nature? All right. Yeah, Lindsay said, Iris often reminds me to take these moments by asking me for hugs. Yeah, see, children innately know, that they want to be nurtured. And as adults, we get to this point where we don't want to ask for hugs, even though we need them. And I'm guilty of that. There are days where I'm like, I really need a hug. And I don't realize it. And sometimes I'll go and ask somebody, I'll be like, can I just have a hug? Right? Like, I want a hug today. And it's really important that we understand that we need to be nurtured and we need to nurture others in a way that's not self-sacrificial. Okay, so number 4 is get in nature. All right, so, I realized how deprived I was of being in the natural world this year. And I had worked in LA for 6 years. Then I'd lived in New York City for 2 years. Then I'd moved to Austin where I'd lived for 5 years. I'd worked as a nurse. I'd worked in big office buildings. I was in my car so much when I lived in LA. And I was just in this industrial, information, capitalistic, nonstop world. And I realized how burnt out I was when I went to Kauai this summer. It was the first time probably since college where I'd had 2 whole weeks off to completely decompress and relax. And even though I did a little work still while I was there and worked on my business and took care of my clients, it was a really restorative trip for me. And one of the things I realized being in Kauai for 2 weeks was how disconnected I was from nature. And when I got to Kauai, I was entranced by the mountains that were outside my door. I always stay on the north shore of Kauai. I like to stay in Princeville, which is where I'm having my retreat this spring. And it's just so gorgeous. The mountains there are just so spectacular. And I would go on my patio in the morning and just stare at these mountains. And looking at the mountains was like therapy, y'all. There were waterfalls coming down the mountains. The clouds were constantly changing. It was like just this deep therapy for my eyes and my soul and my brain. Like everything was just getting restored by literally just looking at nature. All right. And so there's something really powerful about getting back into nature in a intentional way, not just going for a walk around the lake in your town, or we went for a hike this weekend, but actually carving out time, going on a vacation, taking a retreat, doing something where you're in this natural world and you're immersed in it, that's going to deeply restore your soul and your heart. I remember seeing rainbows just pop up out of nowhere and sitting on the beach and watching the sunset over the South Pacific. And I was like, I'm on the edge of the westernmost side of the South Pacific, watching the sunset while my toes are in this warm water and I'm laying on this gorgeous white sand and waves are crashing over me. And it was just like, oh, I was like, I'm restored. I'm a woman again, right? Like the water was just cascading over me and my skin was glowy. And, I think some of you saw some of my videos there, but I feel like if I go back and look at them, I look very just like relaxed. And that's how I felt. So relaxed, so rested. I was the most rested I'd been in like 10 years, like those 2 weeks. And so if you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling disconnected from yourself, most likely you have been living in this I call it the information industrial complex, okay? It's just concrete and gas and diesel and metal and information and computers and words and numbers and all this stuff. And it's not nature. It's not bark on trees and water and the taste of salt on your tongue, and it's not feeling your feet barefoot in the mud walking up hills, and it's not like feeling the sun on your body. It's a lack of senses, which we're going to get to in a second, but being disconnected from your sensual self, which is what the modern world does to us, really disconnects us from our feminine energy. And then we can seek out pleasure, right? Because we're disconnected from our senses and we're not experiencing true pleasure. Then we seek out artificial sources of pleasure that ultimately aren't good for us, like alcohol and food. And that's where binge eating often comes into, because we're filling a void for pleasure in our lives. Maybe we're not having enough sexual pleasure. It doesn't need to be with a partner necessarily. You can have sexual pleasure by yourself. But if you're denying yourself pleasure, you'll often turn to other sources of instant gratification to fill that void and that need, right? Like as humans, we have needs. We're going to get them filled one way or the other. We're going to get them filled in a healthy way or a not healthy way. So, gosh, like those last few days in Kauai, I remember I actually went on a date when I was in Kauai. I met this guy and we went to the beach together, and I was like, I always wore my shoes like at first, like to the beach, because you'd have to hike down these little hills in Kauai because it's all cliffs. They're very steep hills and they're full of mud. And I would walk down them in shoes. And he was like, you should just go barefoot like me. Like he lived in Kauai for 8 years. And so I was like, barefoot? I don't know about that. I'm from the city. And so you go barefoot in LA and you're probably going to get like Ebola or something. I don't know. You're going to get sick. And so I took off my shoes and I remember walking and being like, oh my God, I'm never barefoot. Like my feet are feeling the cool mud beneath them. And I'm able to actually sense all of the the bits of the hill and the angle of everything. And I can actually grip the ground. I feel grounded. I was like, oh my God, I'm connected to the earth, right? Like you're wearing shoes, you're wearing socks, there's wood, there's concrete, there's things between us and the earth. We're not experiencing being grounded. So it was like, I was grounded in Kauai. And when you're grounded as a woman, then you're able to listen to those deep inner truths about what's actually going on for you in your life and what you actually need. And so you get a lot of insight and wisdom, which is what happens to me in Kauai as well, which is why it's a regular thing now for me to go to Kauai. Like I will go to Kauai at least once a year for the rest of my life because it's such a magical place. There's something about creation that's present there. Like I don't know how to describe it except it's magic. And if you've never been, then you need to go. And that's why I'm doing this retreat in the spring, because I want more women to experience the magic that comes when you actually reconnect to nature and what that makes available to you on a deep intuitive level. Okay, so that's number 4. And then number 5 is reconnect to your senses. So like I was just talking about how I was super disconnected from senses in Kauai, and I started feeling my feet on the mud. And, we as women are sensual creatures. And when I say sensual, I don't mean sexual. A lot of people misinterpret or collapse those terms. Sensual is about being connected to your different senses, your sight, your smell, your taste, the way things feel, the way you're hearing things. And when I was in Kauai, I realized I got so reconnected to my senses. I would wake up to the sound of birds and roosters. I would see see the mountains and the waterfalls and the light dappling over everything. I would, hear the roosters. I would feel the sand. There was this just aroma. Like the air in Kauai is the cleanest air like in the world, I think, right? Like we have the trade winds. There's just not a lot of pollution on the island because there's no industry. It's some of the most clean air. If you want to experience what clean air is like and breathing that, then Kauai will give you access to that. And so reconnecting to our senses is so important as women. So how are different ways that we can reconnect to our senses? Comment below with maybe your favorite scents, like not like the way things smell like vanilla, but do you love listening to things? Do you love great smells? Here's an example. So I bought this new, if you're into essential oils, comment below. You guys, for those of you who don't know me, maybe I'll do like a 21 things you don't know about Heather video or something. If you want me to do that video, type below 21. But I grew up in Oregon, in Eugene, which is kind of a hippie enclave. My parents weren't really hippies, but they're definitely very down to earth people, and they're very outdoorsy people, and not cheesy makeup bougie people at all. Like my mom just posted a photo of my parents together for their like 40th wedding anniversary or something, and it was a picture of my dad holding a giant fish and my mom in like a baseball cap type thing at our cabin in the mountains in Oregon. So I'm a little bit hippie, y'all. Sometimes I don't shave my legs. Like right now I haven't shaved my legs. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. So I'm really into essential oils. And this one is Love Potion by Aura Cassia. I'm not sure how to say that. And it's jasmine and sandalwood. And this is a really simple thing you can do. So you can take an essential oil like this, and you can take a little drop of it, and you can actually rub it on your heart. So over the left side of your chest. And this is just a simple way to get reconnected to your sensual side, because you're smelling the essential oil, you're feeling the touch on your skin, and this is just like an easy way where you can start to get reconnected to yourself. So I'll use this oil multiple times a day. I probably smell like a freaking, massage parlor when I go to the gym. I also sometimes don't wear deodorant, so if you're at Gold's Gym one morning and you see me and you smell something, it could be me, you guys. But I've never felt better since getting rid of commercial antiperspirant and deodorant from my beauty routine. So I want you to think about what are some different ways you could reconnect to your senses. Maybe you need to have like a really high quality glass of kombucha or a really great matcha tea, and you need to savor it and like really get connected to the taste of it and the temperature. Maybe you need to get a massage or do a massage with your partner and really like no phones, no music, like just connect to how you're feeling. So reconnecting to your senses is a really great way to connect as a woman. Okay, which of these is resonating with you? You guys have been kind of quiet. I know you're watching, but which of these, comment below, which of these is resonating with you? Welcome, Quincy. The live's almost over, so you'll have to watch the replay, girl. If you're watching live, hashtag Live Squad. All right, so the last thing I want to leave you with is a mantra. And for those of you, I'm sure everyone knows what a mantra is, but for those of you who maybe don't, a mantra is just a little saying that you can, repeat to yourself to reconnect you to your vision and what's important to you. And you guys, the world is created in language. If you want something, write that down. I was going through a journal last night, and I did a little workshop that a friend put on about 2 years ago. I actually think it was like December of 2016 or maybe January of 2017, right in there. And we did an exercise where we created a vision for the next year. And the vision was for 2017. And I read my 2017 vision, y'all, and I almost started crying because the vision that I wrote down in 2017, it's what I'm living right now. I just got goosebumps. And I had no idea that I was going to start a nutrition coaching business in 2017, like at the beginning of 2017. That was not on my radar. And everything that I wrote down about I do work that's fulfilling and passionate, and I help empower people, and I work in the health and fitness industry, and I'm relaxed and happy and healthy and all of these things. I was like, oh my God, it happened. And so if you are not writing down your vision, your dreams, your goals every damn day, what are you even doing with your life, girl? Okay? It's free. You just take some paper and you write it out, or you type it in your iPhone. But I write like I'm a freaking millionaire. I write down, I'm in the relationship of my dreams and we wake up in the morning in Kauai together. Like I write down exactly the vision that I have for myself, the dreams that I have, the impact I want to make. I write that down and I'm crystal clear that it's going to happen because everything I've ever written down in the past has happened. So it's really important that you put language to your vision and your dreams, and that you also then take action, right? So here's a mantra for you that will reconnect you to your feminine energy. So part of being in masculine energy is trying to grasp at things. And sometimes women do this in dating. I know I have, okay? Like I saw a guy I liked, or I saw somebody I wanted to date and I went for him, right? Like I want that. I'm like gonna go get it. I'm gonna use that same masculine energy that I use to accomplish other things in my life to accomplish that. Shocker, doesn't always work, y'all, okay? What does work is magnetic energy. And a magnet literally pulls things to it as if from nowhere. Literally crosses the emptiness of space. Like, how does a magnet work? The things aren't even connected, right? Like, there's no wire between them. Like, how are those two things energetically being brought together? There seems to be a vacuum here. It's like magic, right? And that's what being in feminine energy is about. It's about harnessing your ability to be magnetic. And you may say, well, I don't know how to be magnetic. How do I do that? Like, that seems really hard. And you don't need to worry about that exactly, because guess what? That's being in masculine energy. If you're worrying about how to be magnetic, you're in masculine energy. So what will have you have power around developing being magnetic for yourself is a mantra. And here's the mantra that I use every day and that I want to teach you. And this mantra is, I magnetically attract everything my heart desires. So say it with me. If you're watching at home by yourself, I want you to say it out loud with me. Here we go. I magnetically attract everything my heart desires. How good does that freaking feel? Like, you don't have to grasp at things. You don't have to chase them down. You don't have to, I gotta get it. No, you need to learn how to take a step back and start to magnetically attract things. Now, this doesn't mean you do nothing. This doesn't mean you lay on the couch and pull the covers over your head and Prince Charming's gonna come knock on the door, or 10 new clients who wanna work with you are just gonna show up. But it does mean if you start saying that mantra, you're going to start embodying magnetic energy, whether you like it or not. And it's extremely powerful. So I hope this was super helpful for you guys. Thanks for staying on so long and watching the whole live. I could tell you all were really engaged. If you're watching the replay, #replay squad, and everybody who's watching, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, please comment below and let me know which of these was the most impactful for you. Like, which of these do you think if you implement it, it's going to make a difference in your life? I'll review them really quick. Number 1, do goddess check-in. Number 2, reduce or avoid alcohol and caffeine. Number 3, nurture yourself and others in a non-self-sacrificial way. Number 4, get in nature and get truly restored. Number 5, reconnect to your sensual self. And number 6, practice our new mantra. I magnetically attract everything my heart desires. Y'all, if you are not in my Facebook tribe group, it is a group that's open to everybody who is a woman. And if you would like to connect with an empowering community of other women who are committed to being their healthiest, best selves, then comment below, add me, and I will add you to the Facebook group. It's a really great community of women where I interact every day with people. And yeah, what else do I want to tell you? Fall Favorites is still available for free now through the end of the year. Go to my website and use code GRATITUDE to check out for free with that recipe book. Podcast episode that's dropping on Sunday is Let me think for a second. Oh, it's meal planning and prep. So if you missed my live video, or the live video was kind of long because it was just me free flowing, the podcast this weekend will be all about meal planning and meal prepping like a pro. So new episodes drop on Sunday morning at 6 a.m. The Positive Thread on Google Play and iTunes. As always, I love you. Thank you guys so much for watching and interacting with me tonight. You guys are my tribe. I love seeing each and every one of you and just getting to know you better on Facebook. I know sometimes I send some of you messages to say hey, and it's because I really care about being connected. I like to know who's watching me. I like to know who you are. Each and every one of you matter, and it's really cool for me to learn more about you. So send me a message, say hey, and I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you soon.